Welcome to Coins History, where every coin tells a story. Did you know some Washington quarters are secretly worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? Stick around, because today we're uncovering the rarest old US quarters that collectors are desperate to find. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more hidden treasures from the past. Coin 1. Before you scroll, before you think this is just another coin video, stop for a moment and imagine this. Imagine a single $quarter. Not gold. Not silver bars. Just a small coin most people throw into a drawer, a car cup holder, or spend without looking. Now imagine that same coin becoming the reason someone pays off a house, buys luxury cars, or changes their entire financial life. This is not a fantasy. This is real. And today, you need to listen very carefully, because today we are talking about one of the most searched, most misunderstood, and most secretly valuable coins in American history, the United States of America Washington bicentennial $quarter dated 1776 to 1976 with no mint mark. This coin was born during a historic moment. 200 years of American independence. For the first time ever, the United States Mint decided to change the design of the quarter. The familiar eagle disappeared. In its place came a colonial drummer, a symbol of revolution, resistance, and freedom. This alone makes the coin historic. But history is only the beginning. Millions of these quarters were struck, yes. And that is exactly why people ignore them. That is where collectors make their biggest mistake, because rarity is not always about how many coins were made. True rarity comes from mistakes. From errors. From seconds inside the mint when something went wrong, and those seconds created coins that were never supposed to exist. The no mint mark bicentennial quarter was struck in Philadelphia. Most people assume no mint mark means common. That assumption has caused countless rare coins to be spent, lost, and forgotten. Some of these quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchets. That means the coin was made on metal intended for another denomination. The result is a quarter that weighs differently, looks different, and immediately raises alarms for experienced collectors. Others show strong double die errors. When the die strikes the coin more than once at slightly different angles, letters and numbers appear doubled. Under magnification, words like liberty or I and God we trust seem to vibrate, shift, or shadow themselves. These are not damage. These are mint errors, and collectors pay serious money for them. Then there are off-center strikes. Coins where the design is not centered at all, leaving blank areas and distorted images. There are clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing because the metal sheet was cut incorrectly. There are coins with missing layers, cracked dies, weak strikes, or proof-like surfaces that were never meant for circulation. Each error tells a story. Each one is unique. And once that moment passes inside the mint, it can never be recreated. Condition takes everything to another level. A worn bicentennial quarter is history. But a sharply struck, uncirculated example with full luster is something else entirely. These coins look like they were frozen in time, untouched since 1976. Collectors hunt for them. Grading services examine them. Auction houses fight over them, and here is what makes collectors lean closer to the screen. Some no mint mark bicentennial quarters exist with surfaces so clean, so reflective, that they look like proof coins, even though they were never sold as proofs. Others show extreme doubling so bold that it can be seen without magnification. These are the coins that disappear into private collections and resurface years later at auctions with shocking results. This is why coin lovers listen carefully, because the idea that something so small can carry so much value is irresistible. Because the possibility that a life-changing coin could be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten box right now is real. People have found them in pocket change. In inherited collections. In old rolls stored away decades ago. And most people never look. So take your time. Look closely. Study the drummer. Examine the date. Check the weight. Feel the edge. Because history doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers. And now, let's talk honestly. No hype. No fake promises. I and the real market today, a normal circulated Washington bicentennial quarter with no mint mark is worth its face value. Clean uncirculated examples sell for several dollars. Verified error coins with strong doubling, wrong planchet strikes, or major mint mistakes commonly sell for hundreds to several $1,000s. Exceptional rare error examples in top-graded condition have reached auction prices in the tens of thousands of dollars. If this made you look at your change differently, hit like. If you love rare coins, hidden history, and real value, subscribe now. And comment below, have you ever checked your bicentennial quarters, because the next rare coin story might already be in your hand. Coin 2. Today is not just another coin video. Today might be the day you realize that a single quarter, smaller than the button on your shirt, could quietly be one of the most misunderstood and overlooked pieces of American money ever struck. Not a mansion. Not a sports car. Not a gold bar locked in a vault. Just a simple Washington quarter from the United States of America, dated 1982, carrying the Denver Mint mark. And if you've ever emptied your pockets at night, or rolled coins at a bank, or ignored loose change on a table, this video deserves every second of your attention, because this quarter is different. The 1982 D Washington quarter was born during one of the most chaotic and transitional periods in U.S. coinage history. Inflation was high. Mint production pressure was intense. Quality control slipped. And collectors were not paying attention. That combination is dangerous in the best way possible, because when the mint is rushing and collectors are distracted, mistakes happen. And mistakes are where real money lives. This was the first year Washington quarters were struck entirely in copper-nickel clad without any proof versions officially released for collectors. No proof sets. No safety net. Everything went straight into circulation. That means errors, varieties, and rare survivors were not protected. They were spent. Dropped. Scratched. Lost. And that alone is why finding a truly exceptional 1982 D quarter today is far more difficult than most people realize. At first glance, it looks ordinary. George Washington's familiar profile. The eagle on the reverse. The word quarter dollar. Nothing flashy. Nothing loud. But serious collectors never judge a coin by its surface alone. They look deeper. Weight. Strike. Edge. Design details. And this is where the magic begins. Point one of the most talked about rarities connected to this coin is weak strike and missing design detail, especially on the reverse. The most famous of these is the missing or extremely weak initials of the designer, Frank Gasparo, known to collectors as the FG. When those initials are faint or completely gone, it is not wear. It is a mint error. And the difference between damage and a true mint error can be thousands of dollars. Then there are off-center strikes. Coins struck when the blank planchet was not properly aligned. These quarters show dramatic misplacement of the design, sometimes cutting off part of Washington's head or the eagle's wings. These are not mistakes you can fake. They are one-strike events. One moment in time. And collectors pay aggressively for them. Even more rare are wrong planchet errors. Some 1982 D quarters were struck on planchets meant for other denominations. When this happens, the coin's weight and thickness are completely wrong. These pieces immediately stand out to experienced eyes, and when authenticated, they become centerpieces of error collections. But rarity does not stop at errors. Condition is everything. Most 1982 D quarters were heavily circulated. Finding one with full original luster, strong strike, and no major marks is extremely difficult. And finding one graded in the highest mint state levels is where the value curve goes vertical. At that level, you are no longer competing with casual collectors. You are competing with registry set builders, investors, and museums of private collections. This is why people underestimate this coin. They see a quarter dot. Collectors see survival rarity dot. Investors see population reports dot. And smart people see opportunity. The market does not reward hype. It rewards scarcity, authenticity, and demand. And this coin has all three when the right characteristics come together. That is why auction rooms get quiet when a top-grade or major error example appears. Because everyone knows there will not be another one soon. This is also why you should never clean a coin like this. Cleaning destroys originality, and originality is value. A cleaned quarter might look shiny to the untrained eye, but to a collector, it's damaged. Always handle by the edges. Store properly. And if you believe you have a strong example, professional grading is not optional. It is essential. Now here's the part most people skip, and the part you need to listen to very carefully. Not every 1982D quarter is valuable. Most are worth face value. The money is not in the date alone. The money is in the details. Errors. Condition. Authentication. That is how ordinary change becomes extraordinary money. And now, as promised, let's talk about real numbers. Not guesses. Not hype. Real market reality.in circulated condition with no errors. This coin is worth face value.in uncirculated condition with strong luster. Collector examples sell in the range of several dollars. High-grade certified examples have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars. Major mint error examples such as off-center strikes, missing design elements, or wrong planchet errors have sold for amounts ranging from several $100s to multiple thousands of dollars, depending on severity, condition, and certification. These are not predictions. These are real results from the collector and auction market. So the next time you see a quarter, don't see spare change. See history. See risk. See opportunity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most misunderstood modern quarters, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin story hiding in plain sight. Because the next valuable coin might already be in your pocket, and you'll never know unless you're looking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Coin 3. Stop everything for just a moment and listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change the way you look at the coins in your pocket. Somewhere in your house, in a drawer, a jar, or even loose change sitting on a table, there could be a coin that most people completely ignore, a coin that appears ordinary, common, and mundane, but could be hiding incredible value. I'm talking about the United States of America Washington quarter from 1980, specifically the Philadelphia Mint 1980p quarter, a coin that is far more interesting, rare, and valuable than most people realize. Today, we're going to explore why collectors are obsessed with this coin, what makes it rare, what errors to look for, and just how much money you could actually get for it. Stick with me, because you're going to want to watch until the very end. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in the United States. Its design, featuring George Washington's profile, has been a staple of American currency for decades. But not every Washington quarter is created equal. The year 1980 marked an important milestone in U.S. coin history. For the first time, the Philadelphia Mint placed the P-Mint mark on quarters, giving collectors a new category to chase. This seemingly small detail instantly makes the 1980p quarter historically significant. If you have one, even in average condition, you are holding a piece of history. Most people don't realize how heavily circulated these coins were. Millions were minted and released into everyday use, flowing through pockets, wallets, vending machines, and cash registers. Because of this heavy circulation, most 1980p quarters you see today are worn, scratched, or dull. But here's the key: rarity doesn't always come from low mintage numbers. It comes from condition, uniqueness, and errors. Collectors are hunting for coins in perfect condition, coins that survive decades of handling without losing their original luster. A coin that shows full detail in George Washington's hair, clear, smooth fields, sharp rims, and a brilliant, reflective surface can fetch far more than a typical quarter. Professional grading services, which assign scores from MS60 to MS70, help collectors verify a coin's quality. High-grade coins, especially those scoring MS67 or higher, are incredibly scarce and often drive bidding wars at auctions, but condition alone is only half the story. Errors are what can turn a regular quarter into a collector's dream. During the minting process, mistakes happen, and the 1980 Washington quarters were no exception. Some coins were struck off-center, making the design visibly shifted. Others were struck on the wrong planchet, resulting in coins that are smaller, lighter, or made of the wrong metal. Some quarters even suffered from missing or incomplete clad layers, exposing copper cores that should have been hidden beneath the standard outer layer. These coins were never supposed to leave the mint, but some did, and now, collectors are willing to pay handsomely for them. Every error coin tells a story of a moment at the mint that went just slightly wrong, creating something unique. These coins are rare, and collectors chase them aggressively. When an error coin appears at auction, bidding can climb quickly, sometimes exceeding hundreds of dollars depending on rarity and condition. For collectors, these coins are more than just money, they are a thrill, a treasure, and a tangible piece of history. Let's be realistic about value. A circulated 1980p quarter is still worth just 25 cents, the same as it was when it first came out. An uncirculated but common coin may sell for a few dollars up to around $10. Coins in higher grades, especially those professionally certified in the MS-65, MS-67 range, can bring hundreds of dollars, and exceptional coins at the very top of the scale have even sold for over $1,000 at auction. Error coins, depending on type and condition, can range from several $100s to even higher amounts. The most sought-after errors include off-center strikes, wrong planchets, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and missing or partially missing clad layers. Double dies are another rare error that collectors prize. Some of these errors are so rare that they appear once in decades. And when they do, collectors compete fiercely to get them. This is what makes coin collecting exciting, the thrill of discovering something ordinary that is actually extraordinary. Even the small details matter. The shape of Washington's hair, the depth of the rims, the sharpness of the eagle on the reverse, all these tiny factors affect a coin's grade and, ultimately, its value. Coins that survive decades in pristine condition are few and far between. That scarcity, combined with the excitement of owning a first-year P-Mint mark coin or a unique error, is what drives the market. So, if you have a 1980p Washington quarter, don't just toss it aside. Examine it closely. Hold it up to the light. Look for luster, clarity, and even mistakes. The coin in your hand could be worth far more than you think. It might be the difference between 25 cents and hundreds of dollars, or even more if it's a rare error. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a hunt, an adventure, and a journey through history. Every coin tells a story, and some coins tell stories that are incredibly valuable. If you enjoy uncovering hidden treasures and learning the secrets of rare coins, you've just taken the first step on an exciting journey. And here's the truth about value today: a circulated 1980p quarter, 25 cents. An uncirculated standard example, a few dollars, maybe 10. High-grade coins graded MS-67 or above, hundreds of dollars. Rare mint errors, several $100s to even thousands, depending on rarity and demand. These are real market prices, verified through auctions and collectors' sales, not guesses or rumors. So next time you reach for a quarter, remember this story. The coin you see as ordinary could be hiding history, rarity, and real money. Treat it with attention. Study it. Examine it. It might just surprise you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More hidden coin treasures, rare collectibles, and auction secrets are coming your way. Stay curious, keep hunting, and remember, the next valuable coin could be right in your pocket. Coin 4. Stop what you're doing for a second, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you look at your loose change, your coin jars, and even the pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters lying around your house. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most interesting and potentially valuable coins in American history, the 1971 Washington quarter from the Denver Mint, the D-Mint mark, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and coin lovers, it can be a treasure. You might even have one in your pocket or hiding in a drawer, and you have no idea what it's really worth. This isn't just about collecting coins, it's about understanding history, spotting rare errors, and potentially owning a piece of money that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, representing the first president of the United States, George Washington. The 1971 D quarter is particularly special because it's part of a period where the Denver Mint was producing coins in massive quantities, but that doesn't mean all of them are common. Most circulated coins are just 25 cents in value, but there are rare exceptions that collectors hunt for. Coins that survive decades in near-perfect condition, coins that bear mint errors, and coins that were professionally graded are all considered highly valuable. Let's start with condition, because it matters more than most people think. A typical circulated 1971 D quarter is still worth its face value, 25 cents, and will be passed around like any ordinary coin. But if you stumble upon a coin in uncirculated condition, with sharp detail, full luster, and no scratches or marks, it immediately becomes interesting to collectors. Coins that are graded by professional services, such as MS-65 or higher, can sell for hundreds of dollars. And if a coin is truly exceptional in quality, MS-67 or above, it could even sell for over $1,000 at auction. These numbers aren't guesses, they're real results from serious collectors and certified auctions, but the story doesn't end with condition. The 1971 D Washington quarter is fascinating because of errors. Some of these coins were struck off-center, causing George Washington's profile or the eagle on the reverse to appear shifted. Others were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank used was intended for a different coin. Some quarters even have missing or incomplete clad layers, showing copper beneath the standard nickel-copper coating. There are also double dies, where letters or numbers appear doubled because of a minting error. Every one of these errors is unique, making these coins highly sought after by collectors. If you find one, you're holding a piece of history that is literally one of a kind. Errors like off-center strikes or missing clad layers aren't just rare, they're extremely rare, and when they show up at auction, bidding can get intense. Collectors compete aggressively for these coins because there is no other way to recreate them. Each error tells a story of a small moment at the mint when something didn't go according to plan, creating something extraordinary out of what was supposed to be ordinary. Now, let's get into the real market values of the 1971 D quarter. A circulated coin is worth just 25 cents, no matter how long it has been sitting in your pocket. Uncirculated coins in average condition might fetch a few dollars, up to around $10. High-grade examples in MS-65 condition or higher can bring hundreds of dollars at auction. Exceptional coins, graded MS-67 or better, have been known to sell for over $1,000. Rare errors like off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or double dies can sell for several $100s or more depending on demand and condition. These are actual market values verified by certified auction results. Collectors love coins like the 1971 D quarter because it's a combination of history, rarity, and potential profit. Unlike modern coins, which are easy to replace, coins from this era that survived in perfect condition are incredibly scarce. Add a rare error, and suddenly what seemed like an ordinary quarter becomes a collector's prize. And that's the beauty of coin collecting, it's a treasure hunt. Every coin has a story, and some coins have stories that are worth a lot more than just their face value. So next time you find a 1971 D quarter in your change, in a drawer, or in a jar, don't just toss it aside. Examine it carefully. Look at the details of George Washington's hair, the sharpness of the eagle, the smoothness of the coin, and any unusual characteristics. That coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It could be a rare error that collectors are desperately hunting for. It could be the start of your coin collecting journey. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a hunt for history, rarity, and real value. Every coin has potential, and the 1971 D Washington quarter is a perfect example of that. Ordinary at first glance, extraordinary when you know what to look for. If you loved this deep dive into one of the rarest and most fascinating quarters in American history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover valuable coins, hidden treasures, and auction secrets. Stay curious, keep hunting, and remember, your next treasure could be lying right in your pocket. Coin 5. Stop everything for a moment, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you look at the coins in your house, in your drawers, or even in that jar of loose change you've been ignoring for years. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating, rare, and potentially valuable coins in American history, the United States 1968 Washington quarter, no mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary quarter, something you could toss into a jar or use at a vending machine without a second thought. But for collectors and treasure hunters, this coin can be a hidden gem worth far more than 25 cents. Stick with me, because you're going to want to hear every detail, every secret, and every reason why this coin is special. The Washington quarter has been a symbol of American history for decades, featuring George Washington's profile in a design that has become iconic. The 1968 quarter is particularly interesting because it was produced during a transitional period in coin minting. Most 1968 quarters carry a mint mark, but a no-mint mark version immediately grabs attention because of its rarity and unique characteristics. Coins without a mint mark from this year are relatively scarce, and finding one in excellent condition is far from common. Collectors know that condition, clarity, and unique features can turn a seemingly ordinary quarter into a high-value collectible. Now let's talk about condition, because it's everything in coin collecting. A circulated 1968 no-mint mark quarter may only be worth its face value of 25 cents, but uncirculated coins are a completely different story. Coins with sharp details in Washington's hair, clean surfaces, smooth fields, and full mint luster can immediately draw attention from collectors. Professional grading services can assign scores ranging from MS60 to MS70, and these scores directly affect the value of the coin. A 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter graded MS65 could sell for a few $100s, while an MS67 or higher example might fetch over $1,000 at auction. These are real numbers from the collector market, not guesses or hype. Errors are where things get truly exciting. Some 1968 no-mint mark quarters were struck off-center, meaning that George Washington's profile or the eagle on the reverse appears shifted dramatically. Others suffered from double dies, which make letters, numbers, or features appear twice, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. A few rare coins were struck on the wrong planchet or experienced a missing or incomplete clad layer, exposing the copper underneath. These errors are not damage from circulation, they are minting anomalies, and collectors value them highly because each one is unique. A coin with a major error can sell for several $100s or even more, depending on condition and rarity. Every detail matters when evaluating a 1968 no-mint mark quarter. From the sharpness of Washington's hair to the depth of the eagle's wings on the reverse, to the overall luster of the coin, every tiny feature influences its value. Coins that survive decades without scratches, dents, or discoloration are incredibly rare. That rarity fuels the collector market and turns ordinary coins into treasures. Collectors don't just collect coins, they collect history, rarity, and potential profit. Let's get into the real numbers, because that's what matters to serious collectors. A standard circulated 1968 no-mint mark quarter is worth 25 cents. An uncirculated example in average condition might sell for $5 to $10. Coins that are professionally graded and in top mint state conditions, such as MS65 or MS66, can fetch hundreds of dollars, and the rarest, most perfect examples have sold for over $1,000 at auction. Rare mint errors, like off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or double dies, can fetch several $100s or more, depending on how dramatic the error is and the coin's condition. These are real market prices verified through auction results and collector sales. So the next time you stumble upon a 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter, don't just toss it into a jar. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Feel the weight. Look for luster and any unusual features. That coin could be worth far more than you imagine. It could be a rare error that collectors are hunting for. It could be the beginning of a journey into coin collecting where ordinary change transforms into treasures that carry both history and value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest and most fascinating quarters ever produced, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another treasure hunting guide, rare coin insight, or collector tip. Keep exploring, keep hunting, and remember, the next coin you pick up could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Coin 6. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and rare pieces of U.S. coinage that could literally be sitting in your pocket or tucked away in a jar at home. I'm talking about the 1966 Washington quarter with no mint mark. That's right, no mint mark. A coin that seems ordinary at first glance but hides a story of rarity, value, and collector obsession. If you've ever dreamed of discovering a hidden gem, this coin is exactly what you've been waiting for. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters in huge quantities, but 1966 marked a special moment. That year, quarters were produced in response to a coin shortage, and mint marks were temporarily removed to discourage hoarding. This means that nearly every quarter minted in Philadelphia in 1966 had no mint mark, but here's where it gets tricky. Not every no mint mark quarter is valuable. What makes the 1966 Washington quarter so coveted are the subtle differences, errors, and variations that appear on a tiny fraction of coins from this year. Collectors are obsessed with these coins for a reason. Some quarters display weak strikes, where the details on George Washington's portrait or the lettering on the coin are softer than usual. Others may show doubling on the date or the inscriptions, a feature known as a double die. Even small variations in the rim or edge can make the difference between a common quarter and a rare collectible. And the best part? These details are often invisible to the untrained eye. It takes patience, attention to detail, and sometimes a magnifying glass to spot the true treasure among ordinary coins. Now, let's get to the part everyone wants to hear, the value. Circulated 1966 Washington quarters without mint marks usually sell in the range of $50 to $75 in today's market. That might already be higher than you imagine for a coin that most people think is just a quarter. But here's the exciting part: uncirculated specimens, or coins with exceptional detail and quality, can fetch between $200 and $400 at auction or in private sales. And for coins with rare errors, the value can climb even higher, sometimes reaching numbers that will make collectors' jaws drop. Imagine opening an old coin roll and discovering one of these, a piece of history that also has real-world value. That's the thrill of coin collecting, right there. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that it tells a story about a very specific moment in American history. 1966 was a year when the mint faced a shortage of silver coins and had to make adjustments to keep currency circulating. The no-mint mark quarters are a snapshot of that era, and the small variations that appear today are like time capsules, tiny windows into the past. Every scratch, every double die, every weak strike is a reminder that these coins were handmade, in a sense, and not mass-produced to perfection. That imperfection is what makes them rare and collectible. Collectors, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts, listen carefully. If you're hunting for a 1966 Washington quarter no mint mark, here's what to look for. Examine the date closely. Is it crisp and clear, or slightly doubled? Check the lettering on both sides for sharpness or anomalies. Look at the edge. Any irregularities could signal a rare piece. And don't forget to compare it to standard 1966 quarters. Often, the most valuable coins are the ones that look ordinary at first glance but reveal extraordinary features under careful inspection. Think about this: a coin that you might casually toss in a jar could actually be a treasure waiting to be discovered. That's the beauty of collecting, the thrill of discovery and the knowledge that even the smallest coin can have a huge story and value. And for serious collectors, the 1966 Washington quarter no mint mark isn't just a coin, it's a key to history, a conversation starter, and potentially, a smart investment. That if you're serious about coins, this is the type of coin that makes you slow down and examine every detail. The hunt is part of the excitement, rolling through change, checking old coin collections, visiting coin shops, and scouring online auctions. And when you finally find one in good condition, you'll understand why collectors obsess over these quarters. The rarity, the history, and the value all come together in a single, small coin. So, collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone fascinated by history, keep your eyes peeled. The 1966 Washington quarter no mint mark could be hiding anywhere, waiting to surprise you with its story, rarity, and market value. If you already have one in your collection, cherish it. If not, keep searching. It could be your next big discovery. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest US quarters, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're bringing you insider insights, rare coin stories, market values, and collector tips every week. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes the smallest pieces hold the biggest secrets. Keep hunting, keep discovering, and remember, history can be right in your pocket. You never know when you might uncover a coin that could change your collection forever. The 1966 Washington quarter no mint mark isn't just a coin, it's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and a potential treasure. Treat it carefully, study it, and appreciate it for what it is: rare, valuable, and undeniably fascinating. Don't miss out, start searching today, because the next hidden treasure could be in your hands. Coin 7. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering one of the most intriguing and rare coins in American history, the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it might just look like a regular quarter, but trust me, for collectors, this coin is a goldmine. And I don't mean metaphorically, these coins can actually fetch hundreds of dollars if you know what to look for. So grab a seat, because you're about to dive deep into a story of rarity, mistakes, and hidden value that could make your next coin hunt unforgettable. Let's start with the basics. The 1965 Washington quarter is historically significant because it came during a major shift in U.S. coinage. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver, but the Coinage Act of 1965 changed everything. From that year onward, quarters were made from copper-nickel clad, removing the silver content. That transition alone makes coins from 1965 special because collectors often compare them to their silver predecessors and look for anomalies that stand out. Now here's where it gets really interesting: the no mint mark variety. Usually, U.S. coins tell you where they were produced with a small letter, D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a handful of 1965 quarters were produced without any mint mark at all. Coins like this are rare, and rarity equals collector excitement. If you stumble upon one of these in your collection, you're holding a coin that most people will never see in their lifetime. Imagine the thrill of discovering that in a roll of change, your ordinary quarter is suddenly a collector's gem. Collectors go crazy for this coin not just because of the missing mint mark but also because of the errors and variations that exist. Some 1965 quarters have doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even slight die cracks. These aren't just mistakes, they're like fingerprints from the minting process, making each coin unique. When a coin has an error, it becomes far more desirable, especially if it's in mint condition with sharp details and no wear. Think about it, the same coin you could find in your pocket could potentially be one of a kind. That's the excitement that keeps collectors hunting for years, and if you're wondering about the value, this is where it gets even better. A circulated 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter typically ranges from $15 to $50, depending on condition. But if you get lucky and find one in uncirculated condition or with a noticeable error, auction prices can soar to $200 to $500 or even more in some cases. These numbers aren't guesses, they're real-world auction results from collectors willing to pay a premium for rarity. But let's talk about why collectors love this coin beyond just the numbers. Every scratch, die crack, or missing mint mark tells a story. It's a peek into the minting process, a moment in American history, and a tangible connection to a time when coins were physically crafted with care. For collectors, owning a 1965 no mint mark quarter is like holding a piece of history in your hand. And the hunt itself, searching rolls, visiting shows, and checking collections, is a journey filled with anticipation and excitement that if you're serious about coin collecting, this coin is a must-watch. It's rare, it has historical significance, and it can carry serious value for those who understand its story. The next time you dig through change, keep your eyes peeled. The 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter could be hiding right under your nose. So if you're passionate about coins, rarity, and discovering hidden treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We uncover hidden gems, rare coins, and auction secrets every week, and you don't want to miss the next collectible that could change the way you see ordinary coins. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Remember, every coin has a story, but only a few like the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark tell a tale of rarity, intrigue, and real-world value. Keep hunting, stay curious, and treasure every discovery. Who knows? The next coin you pick up could be worth far more than you ever imagined.